Back after a break. I didn't make a video yesterday, right? So today I just wanted to make this a short video. Probably we will try it and see if we can. As I said, it never happens that I make a short video. Once you open your mouth, I get a feeling that you have to talk something when you're making a video. I don't know. I don't know if it's, unless you are just walking around and doing something else, so that at least you get to see something. This is kind of a video that I make in the static position, in the sense I just stand somewhere and talk. So it's more like a talking video, right? So what else can you do when you're talking? If you don't talk, and if you take pauses, the video is going to be just blank, and you just get to see me and no audio at all. It's like you have muted it. So because of that reason, I keep talking. Otherwise, as I said, I like to talk with pause, in the sense it makes it more meaningful when you talk and you take pauses, right, in between. So today I wanted to talk about the mood changes that we have. Have you ever experienced that you have different moods in a day? It keeps changing. Or that you just woke up in the morning and you just woke up in a particular mood, and after a while probably you get to a better mood because of something, but basically you start the day in one mode, and then in the entire day you have different modes. Like one of the modes that I often regularly experience is a mode of, in sense, I don't want to talk, that kind of mode. And that kind of mode is more occurring when it's about the women's cycle. Women have a cycle which they go through, and when you're nearing that cycle, usually you are more prone to experience this kind of mode where you have just zipped your mouth and you are into nothing. In the sense, you just like to do your work and get over it, and probably just browse through and watch something, or it's a period when you avoid any kind of discussions and talking, because I have felt that majority of the time, all the rest of the time, except for this 1 week which I'm talking about, I am basically a person who is all the time working with my mind. Someone who is most of the time who is not grasped by who is not held up by the emotional part of it, of anything. Even if it is an emotional instance, I try to understand it, to grasp it in a more mental order, in the sense with my mind, and very very less I get into the emotional part of it. But the difference is that in this week which I'm talking about, where every woman go through the cycle, in this particular week, I'm like, everything for me is if it is emotional, it is taken with emotions. So I don't like it at all. So it's just different of who basically I am. So this is the only time in a month when I try to attend to emotional aspects of life with that approach, rather than trying to approach it mentally. What I tell you is, women, I think they know about it. They know it very well. The most majority of women experience this mental and emotional difference in them when they are nearing their cycle, especially that 7 days prior to that is kind of different for each woman. It seems that not every woman have the same kind of response to it. It kind of changes from woman to woman. So it depends on what are you experiencing on those 7 days. But for me, it's like it's like I just zip my mouth and I just want to sit somewhere, do my work, and get over it. So you bring some emotional contents to me, I'm going to deal with that with emotions, and I will not be dealing with it with my mind. That's the difference basically, which I experience in this 7 days before your cycle. So what about you? How different is it for you? Do you also have something called as this transition? As I say, it's kind of vague, and I wake up in the morning and whatever work I'm doing, it's so funny that I feel like my lips are glued, because I don't want to talk about anything. You bring just anything because it's so boring. It is very unlike me, that I am more emotionally attached to the aspects which actually requires your emotional responses, because otherwise every emotional aspect, what I do is I attend to it with my mind. It's always done mentally, but except for these 7 days when I do it differently. What requires my emotional attention, that is what it gets. So it's kind of good in a way, but very difficult for the woman, someone like me who is used to the other way. So in simple words, we call it mood fluctuations. We have so much of mood fluctuations during these times. It's intense for some people. Some people never actually recognize it. They are not familiar with it, though they experience some kind of discomfort, some kind of difference in them as a person, not just pain and all the other things which comes with it, but even otherwise there are mental issues like this, what I'm talking about, especially with respect to the changes in a person's mood. That's very difficult. So even otherwise, but if it is not so, except for these 7 days, I think that I have a very constant mood, in the sense I am not a moody person at all. I don't have mood fluctuations as such. I don't experience it except for these 7 days. But I know so many people who are so moody, in the sense in the morning they have one mood, and after a while they have a different mood, and I don't know whether you have ever thought about it or reflected on it, that how are we able to change our moods like this? I don't know. It's very interesting to think about. All these kind of emotional topics come up in these 7 days. So basically, women are emotional beings more than men, because women tend to approach all the life events with emotions. And if a woman is different and she has more of masculine qualities in her, it's going to be different, because then she is going to approach all the life instances mentally. That's a basic difference between two kinds of women. But generally, women tend to take everything emotionally, and that is their strength as well. Women are strong in that area. You want emotional approach, you want a feedback which is emotional, you are expecting emotional touch, then rather than going to a man, you should always go to a woman, it seems, because women are good in that. They have mastered it from the childhood till the day they are here. They are masters of that. But some women are different. They approach life instances mentally, because that helps you to be practical. I don't know. So what I am trying to tell you is, I always wanted to work as a school counselor, in the sense a counselor for children, because psychology has always been my favorite subject. I've liked it so much. I still like it, and one thing that I am interested is in studying people's mind. So it's about mind. When I say I like to study people, it's their mind. Why a person behaves so and so, why he or she is so different from the rest of them. Most of the secrets lie in observing their mind, in the sense in their mind, you can say. So that's something I am very much interested in studying people and how their minds work, why they are so different. So that is something that I've done from a very young age. Look at them, look at people, observe them, and try to make sense of everything that happens around us. You have to make sense of things, and sometimes you are like, you just don't make a sense of what is happening around you, and that is when you are kind of irritated, frustrated, and annoyed by things. It happens to everybody. You are not an exception. It happens to me, it happens to you. The thing is that you cannot make sense of what is happening around you. That's when this happens. So there are different ways of handling that we can talk in some other day. That's not the topic. So that can also affect your mood. Basically, I don't know, in the morning, most people wake up in a good mood. I don't know, very rarely people, I've seen some people, you won't believe, who jump out of the bed in the morning and they are very, very upset. They're very annoyed and they start yelling, and that's how they start the day. So I used to wonder why this person is so disturbed right in the morning. What mood is he in, he or she? Okay, but it is not constant, in the sense after a while. Probably it depends on what you are engaging in. Depending on that, you are going to experience a change in your mood, certainly. So what mood you woke up is not necessarily the mood that you are going to be in the rest of the day. So it depends on what kind of activities, what kind of people that you mingle with, you engage in, that decides the change in your mood. So my question today that just came to my mind now, in the sense, is this concept of mood change or mood fluctuations or change in our mood, is it something that we can control, or is it within our hands to decide what mode we are in? Is it like you just wake up in, for example, if you woke up in a happy mode, is it within our control that we can just retain or regain, whatever you call it, the same mode the rest of the day? Like, that some of the life instances can just drain you off so much and you are off mode. You have no mood at all. Somebody invites you for some festival, some occasion, something, you are like, no, I'm not interested, I have no mood. That happens very often. So let me tell you, that's my question. We can try to, I do a lot of that, those exercises, in the sense, trying to bring myself in a good mood during these 7 days, because it's so difficult for me to be in a sensible mood. In the sense, all I like to do is to be quiet, and that's it. Just be quiet and mind your own business. That's what I do in these 7 days. So I have 2 questions. One is about the mood fluctuations that you have. Have you ever reflected on that? The second question is obviously for women who know about these 7 days before your cycle, and how do you handle it? Do you go through the similar mood fluctuations, and do you have like any difference in you on those 7 days mentally, and how you approach life? The third question is like your mood. Let's pause it. The question is like your mood, in the sense, do you believe that you have some extent of control in your mood, so that if you have if you just woke up in a good mood, is it possible for you to continue being in that good mood the rest of the day? And do you get to know when you have a bad mood? And is it like within your reach to help yourself get to a reasonably good mood, change your mood? That's the question. Okay, so today is Thursday, and I wish you a good day. I told you, look at this, I've got some gray hair coming up here. It's only 13 days. I colored it on the 11th of February, and within these days I've got this much of gray hair. So I have planned to get it colored only in March, mid-March probably. So just imagine how much of my gray hair is going to just show up by then. It's going to be very, very different. Okay. Otherwise I'll have to just buy it and color it, and I'm kind of lazy doing that. But you can't go to a parlor and spend so much and get it colored every now and then. Otherwise, when I used to color my hair, when I did it myself, I would color it every 25 days, because every 25 days I have hair growth which comes to this length. So when I was doing it, it was affordable. I could afford it. And the only thing is that you need a lot of patience, you need the right kind of lighting, and you also need ample water supply. You need water. If you have water scarcity, washing your hair after coloring your hair is difficult. So that's it. Have a good day, and I'll be back tomorrow. It's lunchtime.